Good evening, good evening, good evening to you. Welcome back, my friends. Welcome to our new friends. Thank you for joining us again on the Next Testament podcast, reading the New Testament, living one chapter a day. Today is July 23rd, 2026. We're studying Matthew 23. And this is our 23rd episode. I give God all the honor, praise, and glory for allowing us this opportunity to come to you, my friends, and just encouraging you, inspiring you. And the whole point of this podcast is to lead the people back to God. So again, we study in Matthew 23. In Matthew, when I tell you I sat up, I was leaning back on my bed and I was, reading the word. And I had to sit all the way up and adjust my glasses. And I was like, wait a minute now, my sweet, gentle Jesus, who has upset you like this? So he's talking to the Pharisees. And it was just a lot of hypocrisy. I can't pronounce it, but a lot of you know, do as I do, do as I say, but don't do as I do type of thing. Hypocrisy, that word, yes. So there was a lot of that going on, and Jesus came out and needed to speak to the leaders of the church. He was Jesus is speaking to the Pharisees, the righteous and religious leaders who were supposed to help people know God. Instead, Jesus accuses many of them of being I apologize, guys. Hypocritical, that word, telling others to obey God while not living it themselves. That was in verses 1 through 12. Making it harder for people to come to God instead of making it easier. Caring more about appearances than inner righteousness. Honoring the prophets of the past while rejecting God's messages standing right in front of them. Yep, that's what they do. The repeated phrase, woe to you, isn't just an insult, because Jesus was calling them out hypocrites, hypocrites, hypocrites. In biblical language, woe is a declaration of grief, warning, and impending judgment. It's like saying, this path you're on leads to disaster. What's striking is that Jesus' strongest words are almost never directed at ordinary people struggling with sin. Think about it. He was compassionate toward the tax collectors. He was gentle with the woman caught in adultery. He was patient with his confused disciples, merciful to people knowing they needed help. But when he confronted leaders who used their authority to burden others, exploit them, and present a false picture of God, his words become sharp because now you're playing with his God, our God, his Father, my Father, your Father. The greater the influence, the greater the accountability. Yes, the greater the influencer, influencee, the greater the accountability. Then, after all those rebukes, the tone shifts dramatically At the end of the chapter, Jesus says, Jerusalem, 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 how often I wanted to gather you and your children together as hens gathers their chicks under her wings, but you were not willing. Jesus tried, but Jerusalem, they just was not willing. That image is so tender. The same Jesus who pronounced judgment also expressed deep sorrow. His anger wasn't disconnected from love. It was rooted in his desire for people to turn back to God. So Matthew 23 isn't Jesus losing his temper. It's a picture of righteousness against hypocrisy and injustice, combined with profound grief over people rejecting God's invitation. It's one of those chapters that reminds us Jesus is both full of mercy, passionate about truth, protective of those being spiritually harmed, unafraid to confront those who misuse power. It's definitely a chapter that makes you sit up, like I said. It makes you sit up and say, whoa. And that's the part of this. That's the part of its purpose, to make you sit up and say, whoa, Jesus is coming. He's coming to set the record straight with the hypocrisy, with hypocrites. Yes. So as I go and as I close, let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person. Colossians 4:6. Stay a student of the word, even while you're a teacher of the word. That was from my bestie. And I leave with you, my friends. May the Lord bless you, keep you, give you wisdom, and continue molding you into the woman or man he's calling you to be. Now go be salty, friends, the biblical kind. I love you all. Until next time, God loves you too. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Signing off, Prophetess Tiffany Latrice, July 27th. Sorry, July 23rd. I did that on yesterday too. I don't know, it was something about the 27th. But July 23rd, 2026. Matthew 23, episode 23. I love you all. Talk to you later. Bye.